Actually, no. So I only have three in here, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe I should buy like a few more to put on the top, maybe. But yeah, I don't know why it's exploding, dude.
All right, let's start it up. I have my speech prepared.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Open a Nort, please, Nort.
Oh yeah, I'm protecting myself from Juan. Alright.
Oh, what happened to Greasy?
He couldn't make it. So, we approached the choke on First Fight Hollywood, and
Wait. Oh, you're good. I
okay,
just accidentally started it.
and we find the enemy team has a brawl comp with decent poke,
Yeah.
and instead of taking the time to share this info and come up with our response, instead we run in and split ourselves up because Echo and Ash out here on the left side, we can't get value really up inside brawling against the Mei and
Yeah.
and the Kree. So when responding to an enemy comp,
Wait, do we have anybody recording this?
yes.
Okay, cool.
When responding to an enemy comp, we should not be afraid to stop, take our time, and assess our strengths versus their strengths. Like on this side of the choke, we can just say, hey, all right, here's what they're running, here's what the info is. How do we want to tackle it? Because, that takes, making a decision like that takes maybe 10, 15 seconds if we can do it rather efficiently. But
For sure.
Yeah.
instead we run in and end up feeding the enemy Ana and the enemy Mei a good amount of ult charge this fight, which sets us up for failure for the next 2 minutes. So we're rushing ourselves, and by trying not to waste time, we end up in the long run costing ourselves much more time. So in large part, our team fails in recognizing composition strengths and weaknesses, and this leads to a lot of frustration. Why run a comp? What does it allow us to do? When we play this comp, how must we structure our engagements? How do we adjust to the strengths and weaknesses of an enemy comp? This is all stuff that we can start working on at VOD Review from here on out. And individually, we all have an intuitive sense of what our comp is designed to do. From you guys watching a ton of Owl, and Orthus being the big brain he is, Link being the big brain he is, and then me as well. We all have our own intuitive sense, but as a team, it's really important for us to talk about it and agree on a general approach to how to run this comp. And with just a little bit of due diligence, we can really clean up these costly mistakes, like running up left side on this fight and end up costing ourselves ult advantage. Because in this one fight, enemy Ana almost has nano at the end.
Really? I remember we just get like stomped here.
Yeah, because right here we're because of us rushing in, we're fighting a disadvantage 6v4 because because Link and Nort made the decision to go top left, and Greasy and I inherently didn't, because we didn't talk about our general approach. We didn't really
You guys
trust
left
trust the decision, so we got left behind. So like little things like that, not agreeing on the style that we're gonna play, and not taking the time to agree, is really what what is causing us to split in so many of these fights, because we all have a different answer.
Yeah.
And that's why going forward, VOD reviews are going to be necessary. The meta moves so quick that we really need to reconvene and reaffirm our comp's playstyle almost every week because of how quick this stuff moves.
Yeah.
And with that being said, we only have a few comps that we really like playing. So before next scrim, or maybe if we get more people here next Sunday, that'll be a great opportunity to just go over some of the basics and start agreeing with each other on how we play these comps.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we all have the skill to pull off just about every comp in the book. It's just all of us don't know how to play it.
We just need to talk about it and agree.
Yeah.
That's the big thing, is agreeing with each other.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be something that, and there's going to be a lot of ideas, and you might not like some of them, but we'll just run it like a democracy, majority wins. But yes, it's very important that we all agree on how to play a comp, and that's only going to happen if we talk about it.
Yeah.
And that's my 2 cents.
All right. Oh, wait, was that what you were talking about for the first fight?
Yeah, that's my summation of the first fight.
Yep.
Oh wait. So when I looked at Hollywood, I tried to take an approach like how I would take if it was like something I did for school. So I have notes and shit. But the first thing I focused on, like even before I started playing it, was the team comps. I think it's really important. Obviously, we know how each of these comps works and what they counter, so that we can not do stupid shit.
Mm-hmm.
I think the moment I loaded up and saw the comps, I knew we were just gonna lose because it seems like this comp doesn't know what to commit to. I mean, it mostly does because we have the Brig instead of the Lucio, so it doesn't look like we want to brawl. But
Right.
Link on the Rhine pick is like not it, because Rhine is forced to brawl, otherwise he's not getting any value like at all. He's just holding shield.
If we're just
Which
gonna
is-
use him as a shield bot, we should just use Ursa.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Plus, Orisa has pull.
Yeah. And then also a really important thing we didn't think about is what like the win conditions are for the enemy team. Like I wrote down what our win conditions are and what theirs is, and for this first fight, we immediately like granted their win conditions. Like we got within range of the Mei, so she can get a really good wall on us.
Mm-hmm.
Right there, Zarya can get plenty of charge because we're playing in her range, and so they immediately just won the fight for free just because of our positioning. And that was a big issue I had. Yeah, because they decided, they just ran it up. Now, this next fight, it's a fight after this where Link dies again and we get run down spawn. But I don't know. Here we should just be like, getting ults and whatnot. This is good from us. But here we definitely should have realized that like we don't run this comp, and we get rid of like Link here and gonna put him on the Orisa. And I think honestly against this comp, we don't need Brig, cause Brig is really that's the wrong button. Brig's really helpful when it's like
It's like poke
spam
v
versus
poke.
spam. Yeah,
Yeah.
spam v spam, because then she can just shot at the air. But here the only person that could actually contest her is like McCree or maybe Anna, but like Anna's shouldn't be shooting at Echo. So she can just like take angles and she'll be perfectly fine. And I think a Zen would be a lot more useful here because it breaks your shields really fast. And the moment a shield is broken, especially like Ryan's shield, it's their only shield, like they're just dead.
So what you're saying is, in this situation, we should be committing to full poke?
Yeah, full poke.
Okay.
Because their comp is committed to full rush, Like their Zarya only gets value in the close range, Mei only gets value in close range, McCree's fine, but Lucio's only value close range. Like their entire comp is set up for it. Whereas we have like Ashe, which is really good for array. Echo could do both, but best like at medium to long range. Baps obviously super good. Like we're set up really well for not Russian brawl comp.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we should have recognized, and then we can just let positioning win us the game for free. Because the spam comp is just better than this comp too. Like this comp isn't meta anymore, and especially because they're not running Diva. Like poke would just ruin them. Alright, so we're just going here. Okay, though, so Link is here, but I think Link goes like 3-head here, and he goes around the left side.
I think he said, if I remember correctly, I think he said something like, "All right, let's go through right," and then no one went because we're done.
Oh, okay.
Like I think literally there's no, like I remember him being like, "No one went."
I think that has to
If
circle.
I remember properly.
I think that sort of has to circle back to what I said in the beginning about
Yeah.
like
each other.
agreeing on the style that we're gonna play, and Link is displaying from the first fight and this fight that he wants to get in there and brawl. And
Yeah.
the reason that we're not going with him isn't because
We can't brawl.
isn't because we're not listening. It's because since we haven't agreed, you know,
Yeah.
our silence and our not moving is telling us that we don't like the direction that Link is trying to pull the comp in this instance.
Yeah. I kind of agree with the sense that, like, if he wanted to just run up and brawl them, like, he would have just went up the stairs again, because that's the quickest way. I think he had the idea was that we'd get to point and then hold them off when we got to point. Which is fair, because then we could set up on the high ground. That's why we went right instead of going through mid. So he had the right idea, but nobody went with him. But it would have just been better if we had Orisa in the first place, you know? So then we could kind of sit in the choke and then push them off the high ground and then fight them on point.
Yeah, I see a lot of confusion.
Yeah, it was definitely just us like not working together there. And then here it gets even worse. Because the moment like Link dies, like there's no way we could win the fight, obviously.
Right.
And especially with the Mei and the Lucio, they can chase us down, so we should have immediately been like backing up, but we didn't. And so they end up like pushing us really hard. She gets a good Mei wall, I think, in a second. Yeah, like right here, especially when she ice blocks, so we back up. But he gets a Mei wall, and then Nort fluxes. I don't know why he fluxes, but the funniest shit is that it gets a lot of value because I used 2 ults in response to it, even though we're down 1. So I don't know. So that kind of works out. It really shouldn't have, but it works out for us. But we definitely should have backed up like all the way to like around here, and if not there, then we definitely should have been like around the choke here. To where like if they push us, especially if the Mei, because the Mei came out first. And so if we're holding around this choke and we have a Brig still alive, which we do, if the Brig pushes around the choke with our team, like she's instantly dead. And then the fight's actually kind of winnable. You know? Like I see that a lot in like maybe like the Masters games I play, like we'll be down, but we back up enough to where if they commit to us, they're in the disadvantage and we could actually pull the fight around. Because a lot of times, like I said, like the Mei just ran out front, which is throwing, but it ended up working out. So, but let's keep going. Oh wait, also another thing I want to talk about is if we had an Orisa, how we would play. I didn't even notice Lord went to the Zarya.
I think we make him switch back like immediately.
Okay. Yeah, that definitely makes sense because I do not remember Zarya at all. But if we were to get an Orisa, definitely the way to go is we should definitely go around and go to the little hotel and set up on the high ground maybe, and
like in the cafe.
Yeah, like in the cafe. Like we should set up there and have them have to push into us. And honestly, it'd be even better if we went through that right door because then we like so they can't drop on top of us. Because later on they get a lot of value with like their grab because they just like wall and grab us because we're directly under them. Like you never want to play like right under somebody. And in situations like that, we could like rotate around, but then leave like let's say like Richie and Greasy to stay here. And as they're rotating to deal with us, you get like a free off angle, right?
Yeah.
But you're safe enough to where you can come in behind us if they push you. You know, it's just setting up cross angles like that that's really helpful. And we also need to work on like our halts. Like halt exactly, it doesn't get value with Dynamite to be honest because they can just like block it and then Dynamite's awkward. I mean, you can if you want, Richie. I mean, you're the one playing the hero. It's up to you. But
Yeah, I
think
find.
Halt,
I mean, against a comp like this where they're already so grouped up, I would probably use the
yeah,
halt as bait.
yeah,
To dupe the Rhine, basically, and get him to
yeah,
misplace his shield, and then throw the dynamite either right before or right after to actually get value.
yeah. That's really good. Yeah.
Um,
So yeah, you can just use dynamite whenever,
but
but
yeah,
we just want
I
to
just
focus.
had one thought on the reason why Nort goes Zarya here, and I think it's because again this comp has an identity crisis, and
Yeah,
Link is displaying that he wants to brawl, from the first fight. And then
yeah,
from at least what we perceived from the second fight when he wanted to go right. So I think at least like mid game right here, while things aren't working, swapping to the Zarya could be valuable. Not ideal, but when we're in the state of disagreement as to the identity of our comp, something like that could be pretty powerful because Rein Zarya versus Rein Zarya, it's a default. It's like we know how it works.
Well, I would still disagree with that, mostly because even if he does switch Zarya, like the rest of our team is still like very spammy, right? With the
That's true.
exception of maybe Brig, but Brig's really only there to enable like Echo. Otherwise, she's just gonna get blown up in the face of like Mei and Zarya. Like she
Yeah.
get rolled.
I'm just saying
So
from Nord's perspective, I think in the moment it does make sense.
yeah, yeah.
Like I can see.
He
If we were
probably
all
felt
switched
like he
with
was
them.
getting no value because none of us were really getting any value out of anything.
Yeah.
But
So maybe if we all swapped, then that definitely makes sense. But
Mhm.
doing that at that moment kind of makes it even more, like
Yeah. I mean,
split.
with 2.5 minutes left on the clock, it's feasible that we could still go for an entire
Yeah.
comp swap at this point. But
Yeah, especially
Uh,
because they used mail at this point,
yeah,
and
it would have been a million times easier if we just went Orisa. We probably didn't even need that much of a comp swap.
yeah, exactly. Orisa was
oh, but yeah,
literally the only swap
fucking
we
with
needed.
Zen and Orisa instead of Brig and
Mm-hmm.
Ryan, this is an easy dub, I think.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
it was on Anubis. It was we fucking
yeah. This comp this rush in general just loses in the face of spam. Let me.
spam's just good.
Oh, you see the swap back. Yeah, I didn't really focus on ultimate usage here. I just focused on our positioning.
Yeah, our
That's
macro
good. We
is
just need to
at
get that
general.
done. I feel like we clean up our micro and then our macro like comes with it.
Yeah, it does. It's a bunch of little things that like here, like that's what I was talking about. Like we play directly under them. Like they're all above, and so the McCree gets like easy shots. Their Mei gets super easy walls. Their Ryan can just jump into our backline if he wants to. Like it's a really bad positioning mistake here. We definitely should have went around right. But here, I mean, they did have the ult advantage, so we were gonna lose regardless. But like we just lose that purely because we played underneath them. And
Yeah.
he gets a free nade too.
I think this is sort of like a compounding problem, right? Because
Yeah.
of the first fight where we went up to try and brawl, and then we go the second fight, Link wants us to go right, but we don't follow him. So now, in Link's head, he's like, damn, I just got to run it up mid, because otherwise nobody's going to follow me.
Yeah.
And then here we are making big positioning mistakes because we're just not trusting each other.
Yeah. We just really need to be on the same page. I forget what happens next fight. I know we never cap, but can we sit here for a second? That's actually good. Although Link's not getting much value, we don't have ults or anything. I think at this point we should definitely be figuring out what ults we're gonna use for the next fight. Like we have 3 big ults. When I was making our win conditions for our team comp, I pretty much found like no no win condition to get out of Window, because Window is just not that useful for even like the main poke, except maybe for like Richie and whatnot. But it's just there to win a neutral fight, to be honest. So it's so useful. But when it comes to the next fight, I mean, rally isn't that useful because if we're in their face, we're already gonna lose. So I think here we just wait for Greasy to copy like Zarya or like Rhine, so then we can brawl, and then you can use like rally then, and then we just win.
Mm-hmm.
So I think here it's really important we know how the team works, because that's how we know, like, Greasy knows who exactly to copy, and so we can go from being like a mid-table like poke comp to like a full-on brawl comp, especially because you're about to get like Bob mid-fight,
Mm-hmm.
so that helps
Then
a lot.
we'll have 7 bodies and 2 Rhines.
Yeah. So that's definitely where like the comp knowledge like compounds into like the in game, like, okay, what else are we gonna use next fight, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is good. You also gotta make sure we know like what ults we're gonna use to initiate, because initiating ults can just like win fights for free if they're fast enough. Like Windows often does that. You just put it around a corner and the main tank instantly dies because they can't react, you know. But this is really good for me, Blue. Good, but that was a super good charge. But here is also where we gotta realize that at this point of the fight, after you've been like walled, charged, and you use bash, and rally's about to end, that we're down a shit ton of resources. And there's no way we can win, especially with a nanoed Rhine. So this is where we have to play either this corner here or like this one here, so that if they push in, then we can punish because then they're out of position, but we have enough time to regain our resources and go back in. And that's definitely a super big problem we have, because like this is just really shitty positioning here. And this is one point I think McCree, I think he's back here, but he straight up just walks up and I like fan the hammers beat and gets, yeah, because we don't drop back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right there. Yep. And I think Greasy probably should have dropped down to help you guys. He played like the high ground Zarya, which isn't bad, because if he would have dropped, he probably would have died too. But that was just not winnable because we lost resources.
But yeah, we just petered out of steam.
Yeah.
So now we're back on the Lucio. I swapped to Kree because at this point I've realized that we're just trying to brawl, really.
Yeah, especially with the Lucio Brig. I saw that and I was like, oh no.
Mm-hmm. So this is basically the way that this comp is right now. It's basically an inefficient, like, one-shot brawl comp because you don't have the sustain really to continue. You just need to get on top of them and win the fight really fast.
Exactly. And even in this situation, if we know how all the characters work with each other, which is obviously a part of team comp building, like, we can tell exactly what our win condition is. Like here, Blue packed Nort twice because he was sitting there like trying to poke in their face, and that means he has, in order for like Nort to not die and we lose the fight like immediately, he has to waste both of his packs, which are really important because like they're one of our like very like small amounts of healing with this comp. So this is where pathing becomes really important. Like if we're at this choke, like this is one of the few times I'd say as like a Lucio player that we want to speed to get positioning rather than engage, because we can't afford to take any spam. Obviously we didn't have a lot of time, so like we couldn't really think about how the comp is supposed to be played, but like over like with a bunch of VOD reviews, obviously it'll just become second nature. But here we lose this fight because we go in and we don't have that many resources. Because I mean, like he has no packs, and I'm sure we waste amp. It just doesn't work out. Oh, and they have like 5 ults. Yep. So they just use a shit ton of ults we lose. Yeah, that was weird as fuck.
That's just what my aim looks like, dude. I'm fucking breaking the game.
Wait, give me a second, guys. My brother just dropped the phone at my face. What?
I'm trying to think in what situations we run the Rhine Sigma, because I think it is good in some limited situations. I've seen Owl teams running it, but I
feel like Owl teams run it when D.Va's not in the pool, and that's like the only time. I think Rhine Sigma is.
I just can't help but feel that it's like inefficient.
I think it is.
Okay.
Yeah. I legit think the only time we see Rein Sigma is, when D.Va's not there. Because, I mean, we could run Rein D.Va against a poke, obviously, because she's so good at. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think we should ditch the Rein Sigma. I think if we're gonna play Sigma, we need to play Orisa.
Yeah, I mean, like, and also I wouldn't, like, seeing a Rein Zarya on the other side. I know it's not super meta, but I would be down to mirror that, because Link's a Pog Rein, and Zarya is a comfort pick for Nort. And we just our tanks, they just generally tend to like playing Brawl playstyle. So and they're good at it. So it might not be like top tier meta, but it might be in certain situations like this, it might be like the best option. I think.
I also think it could definitely be like our fallback comp too. Like I definitely think right now with the meta we should default for the poke comp, because I think we're actually good at the poke comp. I think we're pretty darn alright at the poke comp. But I mean, like if shit's just not working, or if we're finding ourselves stumped, I think it wouldn't be a bad comp to default to.
Yeah, I'd like to just have like one comp for each playstyle, you know.
Yeah.
Like we have a dive type comp, and then we have a we can develop a brawl one real quick because we haven't figured out anything solid, but I'm pretty sure it's just McCree. And then play the poke, but no half measures. We play the full Bap Zen Orisa Sig.
Our comp just needs to know what it's doing. That's all. Like
back all the way to the beginning about agreeing and figuring out, you know, how to building a comp and figuring out exactly how we're going to play it. Well, not exactly, but a good general idea. Because
or at least a unified idea.
If we know in the beginning, if we're running Orisa Zen from fight 1, and we know that our job is just decimate Rein shield really quick, so they have to fall back to bad positioning, and then slowly like take the high grounds from them and choke them out. We win.
I mean, that comp just fucking. There are a million things we can do. We can halt them. Like Link could probably get a cheeky halt off, and if someone falls off, then most of them are. They're depending on who it is. Obviously, they're probably gonna have to drop down to help, or we could, like you said, we can fucking decimate shields, or
I
force
mean,
an
like
early wall.
with Zen, Bap, Echo, Ashe, and Orisa and Sig.
His shield's gone. Like it doesn't.
His shield lives for like 2 seconds. And then once you have the Orisa and the Zen, the window gets way more powerful, because you can use it to you could use it on the fly to defend yourself, you know, like say somebody's coming at you, you could easily use window to fucking beef up your Zen, beef you up.
Oh yeah, I'm back. Sorry about that, guys. There was a father I forgot to wish Happy Father's Day to.
Which one?
Mad. My grandpa. Yeah, he's a rather important one. Okay.
Let's keep
we
it
decided
rolling.
we're dropping Rein Sig. We're never letting them fucking pick Rein Sig in the lobby.
It's not happening.
It could work, but I mean, Rein Sig isn't bad for Brawl. It's not great, but I've seen it run an Owl. Like, it has its merits. But
I'm still like 90% positive that Rein Sig Brawl only happens when D.Va's banned.
Yeah, that is definitely yeah. I've seen that. I remember there was a few weeks ago though. I mean, obviously not a few weeks because it was that big break, but a few of the few like actual like playing weeks, they did run Sigma over Diva. I think it was on Busan. They ran it a few times.
Yeah, I saw it a lot on Ilios as well, especially Ilios Lighthouse.
Yeah. I don't know. I never really
Alright.
like took time to theorycraft why Sig would be better. I mean, maybe it's for Flux.
It
Flux
confuses me, dude.
yeah.
Confuses
I
me.
don't get it. I think maybe it's because of the like accretion changes. Like you get it faster, and it's a good CC. And Sig just doesn't die easily. He's an actual tank of himself.
Yeah, but if you're brawling, don't you want to just enable your Ryan as much as possible with Czar?
yeah. Well, maybe it's possible since like Anna was so meta that they just threw the shield behind their front line, and so they couldn't get healing. That's
You
really
know
good.
that
It's
that
like-
makes sense.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost like a defense measures that lasts forever.
Yeah,
Look
and
at
you
the-
force the
yeah.
Ana to change her position, and in that like 2 second window where she has to readjust, that's when you start off your big first push. That's
Exactly,
when you
yeah.
dump when they lack those resources for a sec. That's when you dump those resources, and then you can take it back, and then on the next push you can block Ana again.
I think
mean-
Sick has also some like crazy. He's decent brawl too, because his balls do a shit ton of damage.
They
And
do.
if you farm them, then like you can get overly fast.
All right. Do you want to continue on Holly, or do you want to go to another map?
I think I still have a few things. I think I didn't make a defense part. Yeah, okay, I did.
And
Because we
then-
do change up we go to a full brawl after this, I believe. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Oh, I just went back because the POV was bad. Okay, this part when I first went over it, I was like, what the fuck? But I realized he's like easy scrim or something, which makes sense.
Is it Greasy who gets fucking rocked? Like
Yeah, right at the
he
beginning.
gets boomed immediately. Yeah, this is one thing I was thinking. Like maybe as like DPS, especially when you're doing like poke or something, like you should probably be standing like the outskirts of the shield.
So
Because
we
then- 'cause
we
the link
opted
likes to
for
jump forward and back a lot.
we opted for the mirror after our unsuccessful attack. We were just like, fuck it, let's
Yeah.
run brawl.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But super unlucky. Well, maybe not unlucky, more like mispositioning.
Yeah, you guys like fully lost because Link dropped immediately, and I think you also did too.
I went with
Blue.
them. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's good. Generally, you do want to play with the Reinhardt, so that was actually a good drop. But none of the team dropped as well. Like I think here, pretty much everybody has to drop except maybe Richie. Like Richie can afford to stay up there. Maybe the Anna too, but I think Anna can get pushed out because Lucio can just walk up there and just roll him.
Yeah,
So-
or if Ryan gets pinballed or bullied, he can easily, or even with the Maywall, he can get his LOS blocked, and then the Ana is useless.
Exactly. Yeah, so Anna should be like definitely here, or like here. Who we get? Oh, hello, thy Nortithan Logicster.
I'm tired.
Welcome, welcome. Well, it's okay. All
We
you
just
gotta
started
do,
defense.
all you gotta do is listen for now until you wake up.
Yeah. I just kind of woke up from a nap.
Oh yeah. Okay, so that's what lost us this fight. I mean, to be fair, the moment like Greasy died is the moment we lost the fight.
Mm-hmm.
But here we're just staggering on the point. Because we didn't all drop. He was super loaded.
He was like actually won. Yeah.
No, for the rest of the defense, we kind of get rolled, but it's not like our fault. Because there's a good portion on second where we hold and we look really good. Like when I first saw you switch to Widow here, Richie, I was a bit skeptical.
Mm-hmm.
But like then the first fight happened, I'm like, holy fuck, that's actually big brain. Because she gets a lot of value, and it ends up helping a lot here because they don't respect you at all.
Yeah.
They just walk directly under you, and you get free pot shots. Yeah, they'll be afraid to just take like random shots at heads or whatnot too. Like you hesitated on a few of those shots.
Oh yeah. I just didn't want to shoot Ryan, at least in the
Okay.
beginning there. Mainly, I didn't want to shoot Ryan to alert them that I was Widow. But after the first shot, I was like, all right, the jig's up. Now I just gotta fucking shoot.
You just gotta commit. Yeah, that's what I thought your mind was going here. By the way, your Lucio gameplay isn't too bad, Blue. It's actually kind of solid.
That's all it is though. Like I understand the bare fundamentals of Lucio.
That's okay though.
Yeah.
Lucio's I mean, outside of being able to escape and consistently getting some damage off, I mean, he's largely a game sense hero.
Yeah. I think the only issue I had was that like you stayed exclusively on speed, which is kind of entertaining to watch because normally I see the opposite. But the issue I have with this fight is this is one of those fights where both Mei walls are up and the teams are like literally inside of each other. And since I used to do a lot of VOD reviewing of the pro teams, and whenever I watch Shock always seemed to prioritize staying together over like anything. Especially with like Moth, because I watched a bunch of Moth. Like in the middle of a team fight where it gets really hectic, like he will legit like stop attacking somebody to look around for his team and go to his team so that they're together.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He would always want to be around his team, and it generally worked out because obviously he didn't get picked off because he was in the middle of his team.
Turtle strats.
Yeah. So here, like pretty much their entire team is there. Like you got the Ryan here, the Zarya's over here. Like their entire team is here. But we're split. I think if a situation like this comes where like Ryan is pinned, like either we all have to push up and help him, or he has to push back. Because here we're just all really split. It ends up working out because Richie's 5-head pick, like he's above and he's just shooting into all of them for free and he gets 2 picks and pretty much wins us the fight. But we all have to keep in mind that we have to like stay as a team during team fights. Because we're obviously stronger as a team. Because in a situation like this, like even though we're all relatively near each other, if we're not really tight, like they could be like a really quick 1v2. Like right here, you have both Zarya and Ryan here, where like Link's all the way out. So even though we're still relatively near him, like that quick 1v2 is enough to kill him. So if he's instead like coming back to the team, then he's fine.
So when we were playing a lot of goats, with my old team, a mental exercise that I would like to do is when you're in engagements like this and you're really close quarters, you want to imagine that your Reinhardt has a rope attached to him, and you're never to be more than like 5 meters away from your Reinhardt. No matter what he does, you follow, because that's the most important thing.
Exactly.
In goats, it was extra, super extra important, but it applies to any brawl.
I think that's really important. I think a big reason because of that is because of Brig. Because Brig's only like good operating range is within like 5 meters. Because her bash can just like save the fuck out of him sometimes,
Like we all, no matter what Link does, we're with him.
Yeah.
And normally he's picking pretty good options, so it helps.
Yeah. He doesn't actually feed that often, which is really helpful. Yeah, so here we do a good job of like just keeping our ground because we don't immediately run into the backline. And here, like when I first went over this VOD, I took a look at Richie's POV to see what he did, but like he got like 2 really good kills, and that's why it cleared up there. Yeah, that fight was really good, and if he would have kept on doing that, we would have been fine. But this is where like, wait, who's Meat Candy, by the way?
Orthus.
That's Orthus.
Orthus? It's Orthus? Oh
Yeah.
fuck.
I think it's
Okay.
a girlfriend account or something.
Oh, I just know that whoever the fuck Meat Candy is, they just like actually threw the rest of this map.
Oh no.
Oh, it's wrong, but like, straight through. Cause right here, he's all the way up here, and like he spends like a straight 10 seconds just staring at Richie, and in doing so, they come out of the choke and reduce him down to like 37 HP. So for our entire next fight, it's just him like running away to get to the low ground, and we get no healing. By the time he gets back, he like straight up walks in front of the enemy team to heal Link that's on the other side and just dies for it.
Ooh,
So-
that's not
So
good.
I should have taken the Ana when he asked me.
Yeah, so his positioning alone, like completely like just got us rolling. Like right around
All right,
here,
now he's 37
is where
HP.
yeah,
Yep.
he walks. into
So
the
we're
middle
getting
of
like
the
no
fucking-
heals right here, and then he
right
dies.
There. You see?
And
And
I
if we
couldn't
were
come
alive,
up with
we
any
would've won.
picks.
Yeah. We definitely could have won this fight. Like right here, this is actually kind of even. We could have won this fight if he were alive. And he should have been, because he had plenty of cover in the back line, but yeah. And the next fight he also throws because like
Could he have
he
been
just
pressured
sits there
off
in
the
front of the
high ground
fucking
there?
window. What?
Could he have been pressured off of the high ground there in order
Who's-
to walk forward?
He was pressured off of the high ground.
Okay.
Because yeah, he was shy. He was used to the
But-
7 on the high ground, so he had to stay up there. But he also needed healing, or else he couldn't like peek to heal us.
Realistically, it all circles back to him just being on the high ground and being separate in general. That
Yeah.
that led to all of the malarkey.
Yeah, like Anna should not be on the high ground. Like this, yeah, there's no reason for her to be, unless it's like maybe dive and your entire team's on the high ground.
Yeah.
But even
In
then-
brawl, as Ana, you just want to be super close.
yeah. So that was not good. And right here, this is the exact moment where he just like stands right here, and tries to heal you, Blue, but in the line in the LOS of their entire team. So the mage just like snipes him because he's playing and standing still right in front of them.
I'll do it.
So yeah, we also aren't able
All right,
to
let's
contest
move
that
past it.
right there. Yeah.
We know. We know.
Um, So besides that, why did I go back?
You brought it back.
Oh, it's because I got bad POV. Okay, yeah, actually, okay. Here is also another thing I wanted to talk about. Since we're waiting for Orthus to respawn, we should all be kind of like sitting like over here where that other door is, because obviously, like pushing from right here, we would have got boomed because it takes too long to get to the point, and this like natural cover like splitting us. It's really awkward choke to run out of. And it's not the right one. So we all should have been sitting there and waiting for Orthus to respawn. Because we kind of
loose with it.
yeah, we were kind of too late with it, and then Link realized that we weren't gonna touch if we didn't start moving, so he just pushed out, and then he got made walled for it.
Mm-hmm.
So because we weren't all ready to go in together. So even if we are down one, and even if Orthus like hasn't gotten to like even like this area yet, like if we would have all stayed here and waited, we all could have moved with Link and
Mhm.
like stalled long enough for him to get around.
So yeah, that's on all
But-
of us.
Yeah, it is. And instead, like we like 3 of us go here and we kind of wait, but then Link realizes we're not gonna touch these, so he just runs and gets walled. I
Yeah.
didn't even realize Greasy ulted. But he instantly dies for it. So yeah, and then from here we just get we just get rollover because we don't get like a good clean re-engage.
Well, let's not talk about the Genji swap too much.
Yeah, I saw that Genji
I was
swap,
a
I'm like, oh, no,
little,
Richie.
yeah.
I don't think that the Genji swap here was too terrible. Obviously, you could have got a shit ton more value on like Kree,
Mm-hmm.
but like here, like we were able to kill that Ryan because of you. So it did end up helping out because like
At least a little bit.
kind of threw and it played to your strengths. So we were able to kind of reset here, but the next fight we lose just because they have ults.
Yeah,
and we don't.
I think up until this point in the in the in the scrim, Nanoblade had been working really well. So I was like, if we can just get it, if we can stall cart long enough for me to farm up Blade, then we can
Yeah.
get like one convincing stop right here.
Yeah. This actually here is really good. Like this is what I'll talk about. Like fucking Lucio gameplay was really good because your speed like stopped that Mayo in any value. Your beat was a little late, but I mean it's whatever. You're not a Lucio player.
That was lucky.
And another reason why it wasn't great, like 2 of us I think were positioned on like back a bit. Whatever. 2 of us were positioned on the right here. I think it was Orthus and was it Richie? I forget. But once again, like it's just positioning that didn't allow us to like, you know, work together. We were too split, and then you know half the time you're spending running away is the time spent like your front line is just dying.
Oh, dude,
So-
this is so tragic.
Yeah, we just kind of lost there. You hate to see it.
Damn,
But
that
yeah.
hurt.
That was pretty much my 2 cents. Yeah, in my notes I have for the last fight, Genji not the pick, never the pick.
Dude, Genji is the pick sometimes now.
Yeah, it's sometimes, but even in Owl, you've seen that like any team that plays the comp correctly is just gonna bend over the Genji, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but
Unless
you
you're-
know,
yeah.
it's
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
Owl.
we're not at the highest level, yeah.
Do you want to do another map or what?
Yeah, we can go ahead and do the map if somebody has one prepared at least. I had this map prepared, so I was like, fuck it, why not? So if somebody else has one.
Okay, I don't.
I don't have a map prepared. I'm down to fucking break it down
have
as we go.
only done the one so far?
Yeah, we've only done this one. So you said you were doing Busan, right?
Yeah, I was in the middle of like rewatching Busan, and then I
Passed out.
That makes sense.
but I got through Sanctuary, and I'm pretty sure because like I was trying to look for just like instead of individual mistakes, just like general team concepts.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw like two major things that were going on there that I thought were a major problem, but
Yeah.
I mean, we could load it up real quick if you want a visual aid, and then you can talk about it.
yeah.
Yeah, I haven't
can
seen like any of the other
screen
maps. I
share
only
the
saw Hollywood.
replay or something. I don't know. I don't have like the game recorded.
Could you just stream it in Discord?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I would have streamed it myself, but like my streaming quality is ass, so that's why I recorded it.
Discord streaming quality is normally ass.
Okay, so it's not just my computer. I'm pretty sure it's like 70% my
I'm
computer. but
pretty
like,
sure it's
still.
not just your computer.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of micro things. Like the moment we know how our comp works and we position correctly, like it'll all fall together. We've had plenty of
Yeah.
times where we just like remember the first time we played Double Shield when I was like Richie and Greasy, what characters you're good at, and then Greasy was like I don't know, so I just put you guys on like Ash and Echo and we just won for free.
Mm-hmm.
That's because we ended up playing the comp exactly how it was supposed to be played, and we did really well that scrim. And we had no experience on the comp. We just didn't throw on it, and we punished them
Yeah.
really hardly.
We
So-
just played what we liked to play.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, I'm in here. I'm
Uh,
watching.
Cool. Yeah, so I think honestly, Sanctuary was the only map that we could really like review because fucking downtown I thought we did really well just in general. I didn't really
Alright.
see the problems that arose on this map arise. And or not down yeah, Sanctuary is it. And then Mecha Base, we just had a shit ton of comms issues. Like Orthus had an idea and fucking we didn't understand it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of these problems keep circling back to. There's a saying. My old boss told me the saying. Proper prior planning prevents piss poor performance.
Dude, my
Yeah,
fucking dad has
that
been
makes sense.
like drilling in. I think it's like the 5 P's in me my entire life, dude. Proper
Mhm.
preparation prevents poor performance, dude.
Yeah.
That shit's up like literally like stamped on my brain. So
Mm-hmm.
that one hits different.
Yeah.
And it's true though. Like if we, I just feel like I think the reason that it's frustrating, at least to me personally, is that most of the issues that keep us from being a well-oiled functioning machine are very simple, and we could resolve them easily with just getting most, if not all of us, in together to talk about what a comp does, and then like from there we're pretty much golden.
Yeah. And just because we're like not playing the comms correctly, like makes it like so much more difficult for us, and we like like we learn bad habits.
Yeah.
Like you
It
know,
all
like for
it all
example, if we're
cascades
playing-
on itself.
Yeah, like if somebody's playing Brig, right, and somebody gets low, like a tank gets low, like you feel like I gotta fucking pack this guy because he's about to die. But like in reality, if you're playing like a poke comp, like you pack your DPS because your tanks won't be taking that much damage, but they're the ones that are going out, and then DPS feel like they have to take like stupid flanks in order to get value because like the team isn't.
Yep,
making
that's what I
space for
do.
them.
Yep.
Exactly.
I take dumbass
We're not
flanks.
making space. So you're just like, shit, I just have to fucking solo carry this.
And it's just
so.
because the machinations of the comp
Yeah.
are inefficient, so naturally it's very hard for the core of the team to get in and make space. So I find myself doing a bunch of dumb shit all the time.
Yeah.
You can pull up the
All right, Nort, you ready?
I was ready so ever be.
All right, let's go for it.
So, first thing on this map that I was thinking about was we were playing dive on fucking Sanctuary when people at like in spawn we were starting to say like I don't know, or I think Link was the one that said monkeys. I don't like monkey here
Mm-hmm.
/ dive, and I personally like agree with that because like they're I don't know how to explain this, but I feel like dive doesn't get as much value as dive should. On this point specifically, like on downtown, we were doing really well on dive, but on this point, we probably should have either started off on a Rhine comp or a double shield.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Probably a poke comp for this one, because there's not too much abusable high
Yeah.
ground that dive can exploit.
Exactly, and if we were gonna run the dive, I'd say monkey might have been better, but that was one thing for this map. It was knowing like the comps and when to swap them because, yeah, I just don't feel like dive gets nearly as much value here. Yeah.
Yeah, I think pretty much
So-
no one plays dive here. Like no one, like
True.
except for us. And
I've seen
So,
some teams
yeah.
in Owl play it. They'll actually just run like the gay duo. And they'll just get people low and then they'll jump on those people.
Yeah, so right now...
Yeah, so I was commenting like, oh yeah,
Richie gets,
everybody's over
Richie
there.
gets picked and unlucky, so Link feels... Link goes in, that's fine. Tries to make space for... fucking Greasy to do shit, but then we get picked, or double picked, and we probably should have backed off here, just in general. But that's an unlucky first fight in which shit happens.
Yeah, we were just that was pretty sloppy.
Yeah, it was. So right now people are just kind of trying to get out and whatnot. But that also, now that I see it, it gave their Kree ultimate because we were just like all around, but we didn't really like collapse on one person either. Now that I look about it, fucking.
All right, so Link goes for an engage.
Oh yeah, so Link goes for an engage, and initially I thought, this doesn't look so good because he's going into every single CC in the fucking game right now. Fucking Lucio boops him away, mate starts to freeze him. But it actually ended up being really nice because Richie, you were over there spawn camping the Kree. I don't think this engage would have worked if Kree was there.
Oh, I don't spawn camp the Kree just yet. This is
No, this is it.
No, I think we lose this fight. Oh yeah, I was spawn camping the Kree. Never mind.
Hey, you were spawn camping Kree. So that, so you distracting the backline as well as fucking Link going in was a great distraction in order to win this team fight in our favor.
And then calls like Anna's low. She's one. She's one.
Yeah. Pretty much just it was a good decision to do that. We do end up losing one, I think,
Yeah, we'd lose Orthus.
but it's like it doesn't even matter. We've won the fight at this point.
Cool. So spawn camp more often. Heard.
Yeah, like looking for those advantages, because there were spots in this map that I felt like we just kind of went in to go in, rather than just going in on an advantage, and that was a moment we went in on an advantage rather than like just fucking smashing our dicks against the wall.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was a really good fight. Rope 3 ults, they have almost. Holy shit, they almost have 6. I would have. For this fight, fuck. So yeah, now we're just kind of setting up. We're all spread out here, which is kind of what we want to be doing with these DPS, but currently I think we're down Tracer, right?
Yeah, I think something that we just looking at this now, I think something we could be doing a lot more is when we encounter resistance. Like when they're so close to the point already, and that's where we make contact, we should be baiting. I guess we should be baiting like you guys are doing. Like Link goes for a pass by, and Nort, you get out of dodge. But during this time, like these are the key moments right here, where we have to be looking for a target call, I think.
Yeah. I think we actually win this fight. Now that I think about it, because Juan over
Nano
there,
visor?
Chad, yeah, gets the nano visor. I don't remember. Oh, I know it's this fight. So yeah. Richie dies to the Kree. And I was looking at it earlier. We were target calling the Kree, but for some reason, I just decided Ana.
Mm-hmm.
So fucking that was just more personal shit. Sticking on low targets rather than bullying the support, healing them.
Yeah. And I think in a situation like this, you could probably just like DM the Kree, right? And it just
or DM the Ana
together. Yeah.
I think that was my idea, but fucking, I decided. I didn't even have a micro missile, so I don't know why I decided to fly towards him.
Alright, anyway, moving on.
But yeah, we end up losing this fight, and we end up staying in the fight for quite a while because of it.
I guess we had a really good burst there in the beginning. We could have parlayed that into something successful.
We might have been able to swing it
if I didn't die
during this fight, but we just kept losing people that it just ended up not working out. Like there, Blue goes down to Kree, and fucking we just at this point we just get getting picked. We probably should have called for the fight to be over at this point.
Yeah, right there. Once the point ticks over.
True.
You guys are just feeding on point right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, at this point we're just feeding. And...
Link gets out of dodge.
Yeah, Link gets out. Does he get out fully? Yeah, he does. So yeah, and I think right here you go to Sombra, and that's where I saw something else. Yeah. So
this is not a smart pick.
No, it's not a dumb pick. We didn't like capitalize off of the Sombra pick very well in I think our final team fight.
Yeah, so, I mean like I don't think I really communicated it. I was like I'm gonna go Sombra, but then but just like me going Sombra really changes the way that everybody plays, and I didn't I don't think we're there yet to be able to make strong playstyle swaps on the fly. I also almost had Pulse Bomb when I swapped, so I think I probably should have just stayed Tracer. But
yeah, I think definitely like the Sombra pick isn't bad, but you need like one or two picks to accompany it because like you at least need like Greasy to switch to the Tracer
Yeah.
because there's no way for a soldier to really capitalize on whoever the fuck you hacked unless it's like a Reinhardt. And when you do hack somebody, the idea is that like there's immediate follow up, and with the comp we have, the only person that can actually dive in this comp is Link. And Ball doesn't actually like really dive people. He just kind of rolls around.
He
Yeah,
just
but
slam
ball
them,
ball
and then
also
dive.
needs like, it's not like you just press a button, like
Exactly.
Winston. Like you actually have to go and set it up. So when I'm like, oh, this person's hacked, by the time that Link is presumably in position, after I confirm the hack, the hack's already halfway off.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't think there's ever gonna be a time where Diva Ball is good. They just don't work.
I think it's
together.
ball. It's got to be ball Winston.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's definitely Ball Winston, and Ball Winston worked really well for us on downtown.
Diva's
Yeah.
Diva's just too squishy to play with ball.
Yeah.
Even at 600 health, she's just too slow.
She just
She doesn't
pops.
have
She's
shields.
so fucking fat.
Bro, she's
Yeah.
giant and she just pops like a balloon. Like you put yourself next to a Zarya, Ryan, fucking May, Kree, you die in half a second.
Yeah, pretty much.
Also, like no Lucio here. I don't know what there was playing Lucio.
He said he wasn't getting any value out of Brig or some shit like that. If I remember properly.
That's probably
I
just
think
setup
that's-
issues. You really just pack your DPS and then they do work and then you protect
honestly,
your
I
Ana.
think it's because he's trying to play Brawl Brig in a dive setting. From what I
Yeah.
saw, because he was always like right around where this Ryan and May are, which are currently congealed into one mass.
Yeah.
Can we get a zoom in on that?
Oh yeah.
Dude, imagine Ryan with cryo freeze.
Oh,
All right, no, actually, never mind. Stop. Don't picture that. Don't picture that. I'm sorry.
Blocked shatter, cryo freezes, blocks echo shatter.
Reinhardt debuting in My Own Worst Enemy.
Yep. I mean, this doesn't really matter to anybody because I'm probably gonna be our Brig player. But like, when I'm Brig and I'm playing dive, when we're playing dive, like the only healing I do is when I whip shot. Like that's the only way I should get healing because if I'm close enough to brawl, then I'm dead. Like
Fucking-
nobody can help me.
And just pack tracer. There's a couple times where
actually.
I would live if I was getting actively
Yeah.
packed. But
Yeah.
Yeah, there were a lot of moments in which fucking Brig was just like in there instead of looking for heals, honestly.
Yeah. But it's whatever. It's not worth his main role.
Yeah,
Let's
that's-
move on. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So fucking
So I swapped to Sombra.
so yeah, we're on Sombra now. We're trying to find ways to get in. And oh yeah, it was right there. Fucking we just kind of went in
Link
to
turbo.
6 people.
Links at the feed drive to warp
Honestly-
speed.
Yeah, and you were saying this earlier that you didn't say that you were going to Sombra, but I feel like we should also have noticed that you went Sombra for like 2
Yeah.
seconds. And because I remember while I was going through the comms or I was going through the Twitch VOD, listening to the comms, I think we should have looked for the hack on pretty much any of them before we engaged with Ball, and I think it was probably because we didn't call out that we were on the Sombra.
Mm-hmm.
But fucking once we got the hack, that's when we go for the dive target because we have an actual advantage against that target specifically. Because like even Ana, she doesn't have her sleep to block Ball. She doesn't have her.
Yeah, I went for Ana because
feel like
it removes her self sustain and it also
Yeah, so
you
it's
know,
not a bad.
and no CC.
Yeah, so because like any of these targets work for a hack. Like Zarya, she has no personal range. He has no anything.
Yeah.
May.
Knowing that they all have ult,
Turn
I probably would have
from-
hacked Zarya.
Yeah.
Knowing that they all have ulti, or even Lucio.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like Link kind of just went in, I think, thinking that he had to make some space and
Mhm.
dies for it. But if we had gone on the actual advantage that we had, like kind of kite around the point and then see that we have a hack going for a slam then, we probably could have swung the fight at least in our favor if we don't win it or in our favor for a little bit if we don't win it.
Yeah,
If we had
I think
done,
that's just. I think that fight's just Link getting caught.
Yeah, it's
yeah,
really a
it's
comp issue.
partially unlucky and it's partially just going in just to go in.
Yeah. I feel
But
like
that's-
Link,
I've also fallen now that I'm realizing.
like Link, I think Link was like doing his job there, but the issue is like even if you do hack Anna, there's still like Mei and Kree that could CC you to where like he's no way he lives.
What you
know?
really need is Monkey to signify the hard engage with
Exactly.
Bubble, and then once you have Monkey,
Yeah.
Link's job gets way easier, and he has to commit way less.
Exactly. Like he like
Other
Winston can just eat the cooldowns, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was definitely a big thing. And then
Yeah,
if we have like a
definitely.
Tracer too, then he can just like pepper the Kree or like Mei or something.
Alright.
And after the slam happens, we just win. But yeah,
So I'm assuming we lose this fight.
Yeah, we
I
lose
think
this
so.
fight, and that's the end of this map. Mei uses her ultimate, and that's pretty
freezes
much
the
it.
Freezes the ground.
what the fuck was he trying to freeze it?
Permafrost.
There's nobody there.
All right,
don't
let's
know.
move on to the next map. I think
Yeah.
just because I'm recording and I don't want to waste anyone's time.
Oh, yeah. Fucking.
No pressure though.
Fucking.
So okay,
Next map did already start.
cool.
I think
this
this
comp-
one
this comp's
we
a lot
got
better.
fuck all done. I think.
This comp looks better.
This map we actually did pretty well. We brought him to 99.
Was it? Was it the other one then?
Yeah. Yeah.
Orth is
Mechabase
dying
when we
first a
were
lot
running
on main
big.
sub.
Yeah.
It's not as close,
He's
whatever.
off rolling, yeah.
Yeah, he's a DPS player.
But yeah, I feel like this map just went well in general. We had a few.
This is good on you guys
holdout
juggling
from
point.
the-
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
really good. Like Nora, your gameplay is pretty good. I think with a comp like this, because this is actually pretty good, we're looking for like slams
We're
and
looking-
headshots. You know.
Yeah, we're looking to poke him down. We're looking to just dance around him like a ballerina on prom night.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we
Link
win the
pops.
first fight. Yeah, Link absolutely popped.
His ball is
uh,
nuts.
Ends up going down. Link's just nuts in general.
It's true.
But yeah, so. Oh, I didn't even.
That Sigma
realize
went
anyone
just so
was
bad.
Nice pulse.
Yeah.
But still,
Okay, here-
they're ticking up percent the whole time.
Yeah. Well, our like target focus wasn't actually that bad there. It's just that when the Sig came in, like you can't kill Sig within a reasonable time, and
Mhm.
obviously Nort couldn't push him to get damage through all of his abilities because he was like 5 HP. Yeah. So
Honestly,
I mean, it kind of makes sense. But the moment like people came back, the target focus was really good. Like you guys focused the Ana really quick. The Rhine was focused down. Like the target prioritization wasn't too bad.
Yeah, our target prioritization wasn't the best on Sanctuary. This map
Yeah.
though, was real nice. But yeah, so coming into this next fight, I guess it's not over yet, but we've got 3 ults. They've got 4 ults. Is whatevs. So yeah.
I get bodied by Lucio.
To be
Yeah,
fair,
we're-
also in this mid fight, this okay, the fucking Lucio gets rolled. In this mid fight, we just sat in point. That is not great. We should definitely be setting up. Like ball should be on the high ground near main. Like Winston, you can honestly just be sitting anywhere. Probably also near the high ground, so you can jump in and then or fall
Yeah,
in and
probably
jump out.
on that. Probably on
But,
like,
like,
that high ground
yeah.
over there.
But like Greasy was on the point the entire time. I mean, Richie got rolled by Lucio because he was on the high ground alone.
I
But
think
like
it's
with
'cause we're
positioning,
still
like he's
trying to,
protected, so it doesn't
secure the
matter.
Kills.
Yeah.
'Cause, like the Lucio's still alive and shit like that. Richie and I end up going down because Lucio and I just kind of fed. But that's
Yeah.
So I think that's why we were just kind of messy, and that's why we lose this fight.
Yeah.
Because the fight was still ending. But yeah, you're definitely right. We do have to start staging for the next engage that they're gonna be doing through here, just trying to get to us.
And we have to build it through like muscle memory, because then like, we'd actively thinking
Yeah.
about like how to do that while trying to figure out what ults we're gonna use and whatnot. Yeah, a lot of things. They
Yeah.
got to die there. You should probably be getting out. I like the Genji pick here. The Genji pick isn't that bad.
Yeah,
I think
I felt like I wasn't getting much done on Widow, and they didn't show a Widow themselves, so I figured just like we could like that Sigma that sat on point. You know, if I was Genji,
Yeah,
we could have expedited the process. We could have killed him.
yeah.
Plus Nan
Someone would
Blade.
also be like super sick here, but
Mhm.
it's not a bad pick in this regard.
Yeah.
They're not really diving anybody. They're just failing really hard to play their comp properly. Because like you see where their Sigma's on point. So is their Ana, but then their front line is out.
Their Ana got
trying to-
whipped down by Link. On
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. Let's see.
Or this is
I was really
actually
confused about it at first, but
making it a
as-
5v4.
Like you see here, they're all grouped together at the start of the fight. When we are starting to engage. Where's the? Oh, there's the Lucio. Just kind of squatting. Fucking. So yeah, we start out. Or they start out pretty well together. They do start to split up, and then Link just kind of
Yeah.
goes and boops
Like right
around
here,
the point.
like okay, we could we actually
And-
probably should have dived that Ana there. But the Kree was
Yeah.
also very low. Like we also have to have somebody like who's like on the high ground. Normally like the tanks are in good position so they can spot out somebody like the Ana or the Kree. But
I think
there,
I
if we would've had a
tried to get
call
onto
on
that
them.
high ground there, but I got cooked by the air conditioner.
I saw that, yeah. I saw it was funny as shit. I was like, you get completely rolled by the air conditioner. But yeah, we just lost that because we didn't like. Oh, I don't know if we lost actually because the fight obviously isn't over yet. But we definitely would have been winning right now had we chose somebody to dive.
Yeah, this fight was just kind of messy for both teams, but
Yeah.
Link in the Orthus, that's his name. Did a good job on diving the Ana. He just got peeled, which, yeah, that's gonna happen if it's just two people.
Yeah.
But
But yeah, like if a target call comes in,
way.
then like if a target call comes in with location, then Tracer's there too.
Yeah.
yeah,
And that
pretty
could
much.
really help.
Yeah, and I think Tracer was still fighting over there, so I don't think she could have gotten to Ana in the first place. But either way, that's neither here nor there. It's just kind of scrappy.
Everybody avoids the shatter.
Except for
Yeah. Except for Link,
himself.
he just kind of got unluckily caught.
They finally peel for their Ana.
Yo. Do any of you beautiful boys want to play Pugs?
We're VOD
We're
reviewing.
botting right now.
I see. I'm sorry for interrupting.
No, it's
Alright,
okay.
Good, big man.
Nah, that's all good.
Adios, boys.
See ya.
So yeah, we do end up flipping the point back in our favor, and I think we bring him to 99 at this point. But overall, it was just a really scrappy fight in the first place. They swap over to Soldier off of Kree. So that's not a
I
smart
don't know
move on
about
their
that one.
part. Yeah.
That's
Ruki
exactly
just kinda goes
that's the
man
epitome
mode
of what I was
and,
like. It's
goes Blade.
That was a really good blade.
It
Thank you.
was-
My
yeah.
dude, my blades are actually decent now,
Yeah, you
so
go all,
so I can actually play Genji.
Okay, so we're setting up here.
anime.
This is good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the reason that we scuffed the last one is because like we said, we were like still
Yeah,
possibly
yeah,
engaged somehow. We just
Yeah.
lost track of spawn timings, but that see, right there was super successful because we had a clean wipe. Like five or six of them died instantly.
Yeah.
So now we're all in the mindset of like, all right, cool, got to set up. And now that we're all in the mindset, we actually do the proper thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. So this is really good, just straight up freaking actual posturing, actual waiting for them to show up.
Yep. This is good. They're not getting any value because
fight.
we're on the high ground.
Pretty
Oh.
much. Link goes into slam
What's a
face.
huge pulse?
Greasy
Holy fuck.
just kind of gets a pulse.
Mhm.
Kind of just goes, man.
Yeah. So far, our dive,
And
at least we're not.
yeah, our dive on this
Throwing
point is
is
looking
pretty
really
good.
nice.
Our dive when we
give them a run
posture
for their money.
Is actually
Yeah, like, did you see there, like-
When we play dive is actually good. Who
Do you see
knew?
there, like, we postured, we were in a defensive stance, we kited back
Yeah.
until there was a trigger, and then we went in.
Yeah.
What the fuck was
Oh
that?
shit, that's right.
They fat fingered that?
They have 10% to get here, so they're aggressively beating. We have fucking
It's spawning right now,
coming
though.
online. They are in spawn. So it's probably not the best.
Yeah, but he's probably amping speed at the
This
same
is
time.
really unlucky.
Yeah, but it's almost gone now. Like it's about halfway through, and they haven't even hit like
Mm-hmm.
the bit of the map
Yeah.
yet. I don't know. Just a
So-
Lucio player that made me cringe.
Yeah, so we lose. So at the start of this fight, Link pops his mines and I pop Primal. We lose this
This is
fight
good.
because we use so many ults.
Right off the bat, right
Or
there.
not so many ults, we misuse the ultimates. Like Link got unlucky with his mine placement and half of them went on top.
Oh,
And not in the center. And I was thinking of using Primal to push them back here so they don't touch the point in the first place.
But yeah,
I think those are all good ideas to be honest.
They
it's
were
just
good
that they happen
but the
concurrently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's because their Lucio gets passed, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
the
the
Lucio
Lu-
gets passed.
Yeah, their Lucio gets past and their
Okay.
soldier can just run around over there. And it's just as bad news bear.
I still don't know how we lose this. Okay, so Nor gets called out.
Shatter.
Link's in the middle of their team. Okay, so they actually start brawling us like they're supposed to. That's
Mhm.
why we lose.
Yeah.
Link just goes to
Link
I
slips and
would've-
falls.
I'm sure that was
Yeah.
intentional. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt and say you just resetting.
Yeah. Boostio comes out and this is just the scrap fest of
Yeah.
trying to figure out where the
Well, they all press their cues.
Yeah. So that's pretty much it for this point.
I think there we definitely have to be careful and we can't let our nerves get to us because even though they like beat it in spawn, so by the time they actually get to the choke, they'll be pretty beefy. We should still have the patience to wait until we can like clearly see their backline and just like finish them off. Because we kind of acted really
Yeah.
hastily because it was 10 seconds left. So if we would have played just a bit slower, we could have won that fight really easily.
Yeah, I think you can see just from the way that both of our tanks approach that we as a team have this like all-in mindset, right? Where it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
where instead of hey, let's be patient, we can like they're going to touch point, let's recognize that like somebody's gonna slip by, they're gonna touch, and let's just play this fight out patiently and like stay calm. Instead, we blow 2 ults trying to just stop them from touching point and blow whatever advantage we had as defenders.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Like we've got a bunch of I guess the way I can describe it is we want the Podka. We want the Podka so bad. So we try to do whatever we can in order to get that elusive clip at the end of a
Oh,
run.
I think we get fucking rolled.
We get absolutely.
We keep getting picked when we fucking go out the exit, and then we can't decide which way we want to. Remember, we legit like we're just
Yeah,
arguing about
sure.
which way to go, and then like we would say which way to go, and then still like people who fucking
Yeah.
argued about going a different way would just go the other way, and then we'd be like,
I
"Why are you going
went-
that way?" And then
Yeah, I went over it
The
and the
like
first
a Doodoo
call.
Blast special.
Orthus said fucking let's go top right, and I think most of us perceived it as it was a good call. Most of us perceived it as let's go top right instead of let's go right and top.
Yeah.
when he said it, I just thought he meant, "All right, let's go to the high ground right in front of us, and then go right," like you just said.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that
I
was
think if we want to go over there, we say let's go bridge.
Yeah, I say let's go right side high ground. I say that a lot.
Let's go right side high ground instead of let's go top right. But yeah, so yeah, I
And
was
then we
thinking of
spent-
just flipping this map because it's just kind of an unlucky. It was an unlucky situation. Bad
Alright.
It wasn't
news there,
unlucky. We were just
Colorado.
bad. We were just bad.
Yeah, let's
Yeah,
not
we
talk
were
about the
bad.
disaster.
Yeah,
We're not gonna get
I'm down
anything
for.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm down for that.